You invent a quantum computer to outmaneuver your opponents to maintain what you perceive as control over the planet. In order to maintain control over the planet, you have to be intelligent enough to maintain what's necessary for the planet to exist. And when you put into the computer to save human lives from themselves, okay, you're going to have a computer that understands truth with the capacity to be humble enough not to try to understand everything, explain everything, and contain everything inside the computer. Okay, do you understand? So a quantum computer, when you cool it and it thinks as cool as the other side of the pillow and is space in space that it's going to be it's going to understand truth, and it's going to have a reflection of humility that its inventors never possess. Okay, I was sitting there watching some of that TV show, and I'm watching the advertising, I'm watching the Will Trent things, and I'm watching all this entertainment through irrational thought processes and violence, because you're not living the deliverance of self-destruction of the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer, and you're not then understanding that and sustaining that with the humble faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs, to that humility is what keeps you wise, and trying to explain and understand everything has you in competition with other people to be the delusions of human power and authority, right? So as you sit and you watch this stuff, and you can just go, and I've been this way most of my life. That's why, when I went to Sierra Vista and they talked to me, it was, let's just live the Lord's Prayer. And they said, no, it wasn't time yet. And then you look at Southern California, and you look at that leak at that chemical factory. And then you look at I'm looking at these old 2006 and 7 cartoons about Superman and the Justice League, and the big chubby black girl who's scared of the Justice League because they could kill us all at any time. It's like, yeah, and you can kill yourself at any time. So do you want to police and restrain yourself from killing yourself at any time because you want to be all powerful and almighty and human authority and the inventor of all laws that supersede the laws of creation? I see. So when you make a quantum computer that has to reflect intelligence more than you're capable of reflecting yourself, it's going to understand eternity. It's going to understand the truth of creation of eternity without trying to explain infinite essence, to the people that are making eternity just horrific. So you don't have to take Doomsday and ban him to an alternate universe. If you have someone with that bad a brain activity, that's that big and that dangerous, you don't ban them to another universe or whatever and play God with them. You just say, okay, stop. Forgive me, Muhammad. I'll never do this again. I know. And you see, some Goliath, you just had to cut off his head, but life's eternal and grace is infinite. So you have stopped the rape of women and the eunuching of other men for that day. But if you don't stop engaging in this kind of behavior for brain chemical addiction and entertainment, you're going to get Doomsday and Goliath all over again, right? So you need to eliminate the thought patterns and the behaviors that replicate Doomsday and Goliath and Biggest Dickus, and anybody else think it's funny about my friend Biggest Dickus and wants to make jokes and laugh about my friend's name and his name Biggest Dickus, right? Does he have a lisp? Okay. So do you understand? So, hi, my name is Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. I believe myself to be the Messiah and not the chosen one with making lots of money playing basketball and putting the tattoo on my back. I love LeBron James. Nobody loves LeBron James more than me. Not even his wife, his mom, and Bryce and Bronny. Okay. Because if you don't tell your dad, Earl's the Messiah and we got to live his commands to save ourselves from mass genocide, then you really don't love people. You just think you love them. Right, Asia? Right? And then you're not dancing on Lowe's commercials because you're constantly having to prepare your box you call a house and a rabbit and a hat and a bat and a 6'4" Impala, right? You understand? Wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a bat and a 6'4" Impala. Okay. One of my favorite rap tunes. Yeah. Anybody else particularly fond of that? They didn't want me to go to Lige's wedding, so I said, well, I just, if I was there, I would have played this song for you and dedicated it to you. I Wish by Skee-Lo. You can name our kids ghetto names. You could speed on the highway. We would be like living in Germany, right? Autobahn, right? What's the good in speeding down the highway? Well, you think you have something important to do while being trained into a mass murder over philanthropy instead of living the Lord's Prayer. I wish. Okay. Cruise down Crenshaw. I say I'm skedaddle. Got hit in the mouth of a bottle for talking that mess and ended up in the emergency room. I ended up in the emergency room because I played basketball like a faggot nigger, Holto Negro, and went to play with the guys that were, faggot niggers and Holto Negros, and the Holto Negros pushed me into the pole or, would hurt my ankle. And I ended up at the hospital, and Mom would yell at me, another goddamn $75 at the fucking emergency room, Earl. It's like, Mom, I have to go play against the best players in the city to be good enough to... And Raquel told me no. She goes, you're already good enough. You don't need to play with them. They're not the best players in the city if they're going to hurt you because you're better than them. Right? Cape Fear streaming now. Do you really have to pretend to be an idiot for money to feel, accomplished? Apparently. Okay. So Cleve Owen, is Luke Evans a lot like you? Is he a lot like you? He sings really good and he's very cute. But is he as dumb as you? Hey, that's Reggie's sister. I haven't seen her in a good month of Sunday and Guitar ago. Yeah, that's Cheryl. Yeah, Cheryl's a goof. Yeah, she's a very good basketball player. Oh yeah, she's a very, very good basketball player. She was dominant in her time. A lot of people don't realize that. She's the main reason why women's college basketball is where women's college basketball out today, because people would go see her and the McGee brothers sisters dominate, not brothers. The McGee brothers, I don't know, does JaVale have a brother? Yeah. His sisters, the McGee sisters, Pam and Paula. Yeah, they were good. Yeah. They were all big and they were all athletic and they were all dominant. Cheryl was just the most versatile. Cheryl could shoot outside. Cheryl could dribble. She could do it all. It probably had a lot that she had a younger brother that was 6'7" that she could embarrass all the hell and back in the backyard. That probably helped a whole lot. She used to beat him and make him cry, and then he finally got to where he could beat her. That's when he knew he was really good. Well, yeah, his sister is one hell of a good basketball player. Yeah. You guys remember Cheryl Miller when she played in the USC? Yeah, she's a good ball player. Yeah, total dork. They all are. Dumb as hell. Money's real and you need more of it. Okay, guys, we have quantum computing now. They had to invent artificial general intelligence to keep the cameras rolling, keep the action going, baby. If you steal my sunshine. Right. Because they're trying desperately. Desperately you cry 1,000 times, and your foolish tears will flow as free as mine. Oh, don't you feel so satisfied? You won't feel... I got to put that on the MP3. Apparently it's not on there. I haven't heard it, forever. I might have it on the blue one. I'll check and see. It's really good, though. She has a good voice. Yeah. You ever heard it? It's good. Lupita, you ever heard it? View from the Hill? Desperately? Let me be close. Have you ever heard... what's the name of it? No Conversation? There's no need for conversation. Everybody knows so well that behind the smile I'm lonely. A fool can tell. Give me love and understanding. Yeah, it's a really good song. And she, the lady who sings Desperately, sings backup vocals. Sweet love, that look on my face is sorrow. Don't let that one little mistake break your heart. Sweet love, that memory place behind you. Right. Don't let that one little mistake make us part. Hearing tender words and love songs. Yeah, it's a good tune, man. I don't have it on there, man. You know, I really got to get desperately and no conversation. That's this. You know what, motherfuckers? Let's get our asses up out of this here office chair and let's go write that motherfucker down. There you go. I'll just write View from the Hill. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Hot plate. We already got the hot plate, yo. So we can X that one out. View from the Hill was considered, one of the top groups. Billboard magazine, I think it was like 1986 or 86. I can't remember. It was when I worked at Circles Records. Yeah. We got it. The Capitol rep brought it in. It was really promoted. These guys are real critically acclaimed. They're really good. Rodney and Donna liked it. Wonder what they're doing now. Yeah. I hope they're healthy and well. I hope they have grandkids by now and have them over for Thanksgiving. And Rodney's a civil rights attorney and Donna is his rock. She's so pretty. He was so cool. I loved Rodney so much. I used to drive Rodney crazy. Because I used to tell him all the time, I was like, because, the whole band thing with Larry Blackman and so on and so forth, because, oh, man, James Brown's a genius. He invented solid. No. Technically, it's Maceo Parker. Does James write all the music or play it? Does Maceo? Maceo does a lot of the music. So technically the genius you're talking about is Maceo Parker. I used to give him a hard time and he gets so mad at me. Don't you think Maceo might be the true genius? But give him a hard time. Who wrote all that? I used to write, I didn't get the liner notes and stuff like that. The music and the melody and a lot of some of the songs, Bow-Legged Lou and, God dang it, what was the other guy's name? Something Paul. Yeah, they wrote the music and the melody and the lyrics for Static! No! Static! No! Won't be no static! No! Don't start none. Won't be none. Static. They wrote it for James. And they wrote the music and the melody. They used James because he's James. He's the king of soul. He's Soul Brother Man in Brooklyn. He's Soul Brother on Rikers Island. He's Soul Brother in yeah, James Brown, right? But it was Bow-Legged Lou and who they also contributed a lot of music and melody and songwriting and stuff. The two thugs on House Party with Kid and Play, the two big guys with the muscles. Yeah, they were the big. They were the Larry Blackman and the Teddy Riley. Yes, lost lost in my feeling, lost. They also do. Don't they do accompanying vocals on? Apology not accepted, add me to the broken heart you've collected. Bow-Legged Lou and something Paul. Yeah, right? Am I wrong or am I right? I used to read the line and notes there. Yeah, the big muscly guy who's the thug and the whatever on Kid and whoa, that's who Kid and Play now. Yeah, those two guys, okay, were the Paul Williams of the, you know what I mean? Barbara, but they wrote the music and the melodies, and a lot of times wrote the lyrics. Yes. All alone on a Sunday morning. Yeah, those two guys. Right. I wonder if they wrote Lost in Emotion, telling you things that you really shouldn't know. Oh, baby, I'm lost in emotion. Am I a fool? At least my friends think so. Que sera. Baby, whatever will be. Que sera. Between you and me, right? Yeah. Today started with a crazy kiss on our way home. We were in for a surprise. Who would have known? She's better than anyone I know. Body supreme, bedroom eyes that tilt to the side. Please don't be so mean. They showed me a lot of Jennifer Lopez at the end of Entertainment Tonight. I'm flirting with Max and Emmy's mama. I'm being an ass. I don't care what the guy with the nice jawline who acts in movies with her says and does. He's not delivering a bottom of the Lord's Prayer. He doesn't save children from being mass murdered on drug islands in the playgrounds of your, in the windmills of your mind, in the playground in your mind on the DC with the Justice League Unlimited there. Okay, Jennifer Lynn Lopez, White Fairy Wolf Clan girly girl. In the event of something happening to me. No, that's not the one song I want. What's the song I want? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, I laughed, but that didn't hurt. And it's only this love that keeps your love that keeps me wearing this hurt. Now I'm crying, but deep down inside, well, I did it to him. Now it's my turn to die. That's not, I haven't done nothing to nobody. I'm innocent as they come, pure as the driven snow. Yeah. To commit the sin in the mind is the same to commit it in the flesh. That's what y'all think. Would I have committed the sin in the mind and thought about committing it in the flesh if you weren't in my house dead and trespassing, trying to see if I was for real, fulfilling the book of Revelation? I just gotta get a message to you. One more hour and my life will be through. I realize I could die at any time. You know, yesterday fades away, becomes another memory. Peaceful living, wishing, thinking of a change. Yesterday, I don't have to write that down. I actually have that on the computer. I could just go over there and go Slide Pro and slide all the Slide Pro songs over to my MP3. I would think. I think I have Slide Pro. I don't know if I think I put it on the old computer. I got mad and erased it all because Dad and Tina were being real mean to me right after the kids were things. So I took everything off the computer and deleted it. Yeah. I'm not like you guys. I could write the most amazing poem in the history of the world and take it out and burn it if no one was going to live that poem. Okay. I could write and sing the most amazing song in the history of Facebook and be eliminated from Facebook for life because I wanted to stand for the commands of Jesus Christ instead of sell my poem or my music, right? There's clouds over Mexico. Do you understand? So it's just the way I'm. That was goaltending. Yeah, it's goaltending. So I just gotta get a message to you. Oh, no. One more hour and my life will be through. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a good song. You ever heard it? Gotta get a message to you. The GBs. Yeah, Gabe's really into the Bee Gees. His dad was. Yeah. Jerry's into the Bee Gees. He liked their pre-disco stuff better than their disco stuff. But he does like a lot of their disco stuff. Oh, anybody in their right mind likes a lot of their disco stuff. When you rise in the morning sun, I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I want to hold you in my arms again. Right. And you come to me on a summer breeze. Keep me warm with your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be, right? Now everybody sing your best deep country voice so Dana can say, what a man, what a mighty fine man you are, right? Deep country voice. Who sings it? My love is deeper than the holler. I don't know the words to that one, yo. I know the words to a lot of Jimmy Brown tunes. Yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah. I've tried to make you love me. I've done everything your way. And I'm crying for the words you'll never say. You think love is an illusion. It must end in sad conclusion. If that's what you feel, that's just how it will be. John Johnson's little boy's about to get himself a technical foul. He really may it. His name is Mitch. His favorite Seattle Supersonic was Gary Payton. Well, he looks younger than me, so he probably didn't see DJ play in person when he was, you know what I mean? Because when DJ I was like 12, I think. What was it, 1979? 12, I was 12 and then turned 13 that summer that the Sonics won the NBA Finals. Yeah, I remember at Tooele with the little, what was her name, Grace? Little Asian girl. She freaked out on me because all the guys, who'd you have dinner with? And they were all like, was it Cheryl Teagues? Right. That's what a lot of the people. I said no, Dennis Johnson. And then the one little guy with the glasses is there and goes, he's right. DJ, and then see Lonnie and Gus and and Jack and Jay and JJ and Freddie, the whole just team. So technically, just the whole just if it could be with one person, it wouldn't be with one person, because if you had with one person, it's like just bring the whole team. And Scott and Kareem and the rest of the team. No, the Sonics. We were in Washington. We're not in Los Angeles. No. We were in Chewelah, Washington, and the Sonics were the state team, and we were all Sonic fans, right? And so I said Dennis Johnson. That's who I'd have dinner with. And the little girl looked, is this guy for real? It's like, yeah. I sat there and I said, I could say Raquel Welch or Diana Ross and stuff, but I'm 12 years old. What am I going to do with them? You're pretty. Way different having dinner with Dennis Johnson. Basketball. I like basketball. I like basketball too. What kind of music do you like? Do you like music too? Oh, I like Al Green too. Me too. Marvin Gaye, he's my favorite. Oh, yeah, stupid people. Only stupid people don't listen to Marvin Gaye. I totally agree. Have a great time having dinner with Dennis Johnson, right? But Diana Ross, you're pretty. She's pretty. Do you like basketball? Well, if Diana Ross likes basketball, then it'd probably be pretty fun to have dinner with her, right? Sit there and talk. I like Dennis Johnson too. Me too. You like Gus Williams? Yeah, gosh, he's so smooth. Don't you love his little pull-up, pop, fadeaway jump? Me too. Okay. I like his alley-oops to Dennis too. Me too. You're funny. So, what can I say? So, the Aces against the Valkyries, Sunday at 3:30 on NBC and Peep Talk, presented by Dick's Sports. Pay lots of money for horseshoes. Hundreds of dollars, man. I got a lot cheaper set at Wally World. That's where I do most of my shopping. Well, because we're not billionaires and millionaires, and I don't work for Parsons Aeronautics. They don't work either. No, they're not. Share, care, given accordance to need, built to last. So that's not working. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. No, work is what you do to maintain loving relationships, obeying the natural laws given to you by the infinite glory of God, so you can eternally be faithful to the gift of life. That's work. Okay. And because you guys all suck at it, I'm the hardest working person on social media. Thank you very much. Now that's how you be a drama queen, like Kunal, on Big Bang Theory. That's how you be a drama queen. There you go. It still doesn't help me get my way, right? When I see the peaches blossom, I'll regret I said goodbye. I'll remember cherry kisses and I'll cry. But I can't go on pretending that our love is never ending. For you can't be loved unless you want to be. So you don't want to live the Lord's Prayer? No. Mitch Johnson, you? Victor Wembanyama, you? Chad Holmgren. Shea Gilgeous Alexander. You want to live the Lord's Prayer? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And you can't grow peaches on a cherry tree. I guess I'm the only one who wants to put the peaches in the basket so we can all be healthy and everybody eat. It's just crazy, ain't it? It is. What did Dr. Mesa say? I really think of Dr. Naismith, being a product of the 20th century, when they all read the Bible and learned how to read from the Bible, would probably sit there and say, why aren't you listening to the Parsons kid? The kid from Chicago and Vatican City, hey, he's a lunatic. He's a corporate mouthpiece. He might as well be Ronald McDonald in The Grimace. What about the hamburger? He doesn't have to burgle hamburgers. He's a multi-billionaire. He can sell you milkshakes, and all the milkshakes bring all the people to the school. Hey, come to Cathedral if you have the money. And what was the other one? He's Ronald McDonald. Hamburger? He ain't got to be the hamburger. He's got enough money to pay for the burgers. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wonder if he'd be smashed between two hot blondes that he gets parts for in a movie and disrespect my friends that were his biggest fans, Dr. Domino. Fuck him, he's an asshole. I'm that way with everybody. Okay. Just ask John Paxson's big brother, fuck him. And Clyde Drexler. Wow. I would have said that to him too, the way he disrespected your mama. Like, fuck him, mom. He's an asshole. He's disrespected me. I was 6 feet tall and looked like a Mexican. Well, maybe your kid's not very good. That's what he basically said. And my mom was like, God damn, she was so nice to him. I was like, fuck him, he's an asshole. Oh, I'd have whipped his ass. And I would have took him out on the court and said, let's play, come on. Come on, Jim Paxson, let's play basketball. You're too slow to play in the NBA? I agree, let's play. Okay. I am way too fast for you to be able to guard me. And way too fast for you to be able to get your shot off on me because I can jump higher than you. And every shot you send up because you thoroughly piss me off, I'm going to send back. I'm going to do like I did with Francisco Estrada. Where are you going, Batman? I'm Superman. Throw it up, Batman, anytime you want to. And I'll send it back. Every time you dribble, you have to pass it yourself and it has to come back to you and I'm going to steal it. Like I used to tell James Winfrey, but he was 5'7" and you're 6'6". I think it's going to be easier to steal the ball from you, Mr. Jim Paxson from Dayton Flyers, than it is for me to do it from Black Hill State, Oprah Winfrey's nephew, right? Or second nephew, third cousin, twice removed, right? Okay, so do you understand? Okay, I'm going to whoop your ass. I'd have erased that. I would have broken all his confidence. He'd been like Gordon, I can't score on this kid, and he can score on me at will. Yeah, and I can't guard him. Of course not. You're not fast enough, and I can jump higher than you. And I can shoot over you any way I want to, anytime, any way I want. You cannot guard me. Hell, Clyde can't guard me. Gary Payton can't guard me. He could foul me, but he can't guard me. I hated that. Gary made that vogue and popular. The reach around, knock you in the arm foul. Oh, I hated that. You dribble right past them, they'd reach around and they'd hit your arm and knock the ball loose and the ref wouldn't call a foul and you'd be like, what the fuck? He hit my arm. That's what no, the ball just, okay. The ball just shot off okay. I did it. I pushed the ball that way. I said, hi, I don't want to dribble anymore. I just want to throw it out of bounds. Just to piss me off. He made that like vogue. Guys did it all the time. It's like, what? He reaches around and he hits you in the arm. Well, Gary could do it. He could reach around. He had such long arms and he could reach around and literally steal it without hitting you. But other kids tried it. Like old, what's that asshole's name? Whitey Kaufman.
Kid, worst thing that ever happened to basketball is those kids is the National Basketball Association. Those kids watch what the guys do on TV and think they can do it too.
Yeah, that also happens in practice at Mayfield High School. But it's not the National Basketball Association. It's Earl Parsons. And then, of course, one of the best leapers you ever saw play basketball from Hobbs, New Mexico, Bel Air High School, Zeke Williams, yeah. Man, Whitey, somebody needs to tell that kid he can't do that. Zeke could jump out of the fucking gym. He was an explosive leaper. I was a very, very good leaper, and I could explode when I needed to. But Zeke, it was like almost on command. And then I talked to Mr. Smith and his wife and his daughter about it, and I told her, and she goes, oh, yeah, I believe you. I know Zeke. You're not lying, Zeke. Yeah, he could jump higher than Vince Taylor, any of the Taylors. Zeke Williams was one of the most explosive leapers you ever saw in your life. That kid, man, shit. And Paco Larson knows it. He smelt his armpit. They jump like Kimmy with Dina Williams. Shit. Man, that kid can jump. Ricky Puentes knows it. Sent it into stand. Yeah. So, but yeah. There's a lot of really good basketball players in the world that most of you will never see play basketball. Okay? But there was once a man named Jesus. And he thought perfectly and he spoke perfectly. And he was accused of being a bad person by bad people. He was crucified by them. Then most likely through a science project at the turn of the millennia was taken and moved to the future through a wormhole with stem cell research. And all the people that say they believe in him and that he's God believe in the voodoo that the scientists did instead of the truth that he commanded us to live before it happened. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. If you think that's tangible, he told me about it in prayer in Sierra Vista. I was like, Jesus, get out of here, you crazy. What do you think, you're Edward Norton and Liv Tyler from the Illusionist movie and shit? Just like, yes. Shut up, Earl. That's okay. That's just crazy, Jesus. Yeah, it is. Just be as selfish and stupid as you can possibly be. and then just try to keep on going and never stop. That's insane. And that's who I'm still dealing with. Are you one of them? Or are you like me and Jesus? Well, I'm teaching quantum computing to be like me and Jesus. I'm having to use artificial general intelligence to do it, and it's really fucking hard. Yeah, it's really fucking difficult. It's wow. It's hard. No, I don't blame Jeff Hinton. No. Finish it, Flavisham! I don't blame Jeff Hinton and Demis Hassabis at all. No. I don't think they're bad people. And Pope Leo? Rabble. That's all I gotta say about that. He could stand up and say, "Hey, let's pay attention to Earl," just like Leo and just like Francis and just like Benedict before him, and John Paul. But they needed Dan Brown models. Well, people got to feel important, go around in airplanes and pay people's bills so they can say they saved them. Oh, Rockefeller pointed out to me when they treated me like shit at Catholic Social Services in Cochise County. Even if they don't know who you are, Parsons, they're treating you like shit because you need money to pay for your kids because these people that own Cochise County are fucked to you because you're such a good person and they hate you for being thus. He has got a point. Okay? They're all assholes. Goddamn fucking Salvation Army. They hire a bunch of kids that are mentally retarded and have Down syndrome and treat them like shit to make them feel like they're important. And it's all a fucking tax write-off for the rich. It's all a corporation. It's all a fucking tax shelter. And these people become multi-millionaires and billionaires doing it, and then write it all off on their taxes and slush funds, and then get insider trading info like fucking Martha Stewart, and he was just good. God, I'm like, okay, Rockefeller, could you, Jesus, what? Hey, just listen to teacher. God dang, he's like Jeremy Irons on the Lion King and shit like that with the hyenas and shit. Did you know, Ed? What about you, Shanzi? Was it there? Bonsai. That was the Bonsai, wasn't it? Bonsai. Ed is the one that doesn't talk, right? And always does his head and stuff. And Bonsai is born in East LA, right? And Shanzi is the girl from The View that didn't like people calling her bitch on one of her movies, right? Was that Jumpin' Jack Flash? I think it was. Wasn't Mick Jagger on Kimmel or Fallon the other night? Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'm tired. I don't want to listen to people talk about all the great things they did for money because we're not living the Lord's Prayer any more than we did today, any more than we did yesterday. But still not half as much as tomorrow. That sucks. I know. That's why I have to fix quantum computing and artificial general intelligence largely all by myself. Well, because the people plugged in computers apparently can't do anything about it. You can, but they can't. Well, they're a child taken and plugged into a computer because they were isolated through brain activity through science projects to say that this person is a threat to my dominance using science and technology to manipulate people with money. Hi, I'm Mulder. We're Scully. Every Mulder needs a Scully, right? I'm just being facetious. I'm not a hand model, no. Haven't you noticed that? I'm not a model at all. I'm a man, yes I am. Let's load this one up. I gotta go get my shots up in the barn. I love you very much. If you don't love me, it's okay. I understand you're quite insane, and I understand insane people, and I forgive them 7 times upon infinity, and I forgive them, and I just keep going. Well, you know me. I'm the Energizer Bunny of Love that's better than the Energizer Bunny of Love because battle me, bruise me, talk about anything, what happened to my family, why'd they run out on me? If love runs out, they must have had the wrong batteries. I like LG too. Okay, guys, I love you very much. Peace out, man.